I went to school because I was trying to get away from, not like get away from my gang, but I didn't want to die in prison. And I just was like, I basically just saw it for what it was. And I was like, I'll do anything that, as long as I can get away from this, you know? And so I was running from
Yeah,
something
yeah.
basically. And I knew I would always have to come back, and I have come back to serve my
And
community.
how did you, because I work with youngsters right now, and I don't want to say too much details about any of that, like, but how do you make the
Just
shift
bark, bark, bark,
from,
bark, bark.
how do you make the shift from seeing it for what it is? Because sometimes it's hard to get, or you're describing it like, because I didn't grow up in the life, you know what I'm saying? But I had homies that banged, I had homies that had different levels of association. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, see, this is
But
my situation is different though. My mom's probably the most famous Latina in this area, bro. She's on the side of this the newspaper building here for the 50 people that shaped Sonoma County history. She runs the first bilingual public radio station in the whole United States. So my mom's a G, you know. So I come from a family of like activists, you know what I mean? My dad's from the
for sure,
South, and so and they met in the United Farm Workers struggle. That's why I was born in Santa Paula and Oxnard because they were working the strawberry strikes. And so I grew up
for
with like
sure.
Cesar Chavez and like Dolores Huerta, and I have memories of Cesar Chavez right before he died. And
Uh-huh.
so I grew up like that. But then for me, bro, I just first. So I just want to say first, like when you grow up in the hood, there's levels of privilege. Like even in the hood, you know. So I was at the highest levels of privilege because I lived in an apartment where my friends lived in houses, but my parents had an education. They had a factory in their brain that eventually they could use any time to get us out of poverty. And I couldn't understand
Yeah.
why we were in poverty. But for me, so I always had that, and my parents always showed love to me, homie. And a lot of gang banging is a language of loss of hope. It's suicide for poor people. You know what I mean? It's not a real life. You know what I mean? It's suicide. You know what I mean?
That yeah.
Keep going, go ahead.
That's what I try to articulate, like, to, like, when you tell me, I don't give a fuck, you're like, what are you essentially saying? You're telling me you don't care. You're telling me you don't care about yourself. Like, I'm that's concerning. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically, gangbanging is like wraparound services based on conditional love. And the thing is, wraparound services, think about it. If you don't have a dad, and the thing is that it serves so many things. If you don't have a father, a sister, respect, girls, money, this, it's a lifestyle. It hits the mind, body, brain, soul, everything, bro. And for me, I had girls. I didn't worry about that. I didn't need that. I had I had both my parents, but I'm half Irish, homie, and I didn't really grow up Irish. So seeing my white father around nothing but Mexicans, it was a trip for me. And then being the only one that was biracial in Santa Rosa, it's not. It's probably it's bigger, but it's probably like Sangre places like that where there's not a lot of diversity. So
Yeah.
being biracial was an issue, homie. And so for me, becoming a northerner was I became somebody, and all the jokes stopped. You know what I mean? Separate from the homies, but I got to gain my. It was like becoming a Chicano, but
Yeah.
it's like becoming a Chicano but with a gun. It's hard to explain, like, and it was in the
Yeah.
90s. You feel me? Shout out to my boy
Yeah.
Blacks. And so for me, my boy, it was just I can't explain how I was really mad, bro. Like when I lost my grandma too, and I just had some anger. I've always had anger in my heart, homie, and the homies helped me express that anger in the crucial ways. Yeah, suicide for people of poverty. That's deep. Thank you, bro. But so basically, homie, like we were all coming to this thing, look, it's like we were praising false prophets, man. It's like we were coming to church, but it was the wrong church and the wrong
Yeah.
sermon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, homie, is that I'm still from my neighborhood. I ain't no dropout.
Yeah.
I don't never went against my people. Even though I with Sureños and I call them Sureños because I offer that
Uh-huh.
respect. I call
Yeah.
Bulldogs Bulldogs because I offer that
Hmm.
respect. And I hope
Yeah.
that they would,
That's
and even if they called me a buster, I would still call them a Bulldog or a Sureño because it's not about what they say, it's about how I carry myself as a gentleman, you know what I mean? And so,
that's what's up.
because I come from the 90s, bro, when we still had like, we were catching fades and we were like, and I ain't nothing big. I never in the prison, none of that, homie. I call myself an average C level, like, how
Uh-huh.
you went to school and you just kind of passed? That's how I did gangbanging, bro. I just did the bare minimum.
Damn, that's funny, man.
I
That's
did. No, I
crazy.
swear to God. I like swear to God, homie, like when I was shooting at fools, I wasn't trying to hit them, dog. I'll be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
yeah.
of the most violent things I did it out of fear, and
Uh-huh.
I was proud of myself though. I I would leave with girls all the time, so I never had to be there when the crime happened. I was a kind of a guy that got a lot of girls, and the youngsters liked me, so I manipulated a lot of young men to go fuck their
Uh-huh.
lives up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I put
yeah.
many men, not many, I put some men. I don't want to put myself because people try to, oh, you're trying to act like an OG, dog. I ain't real quick. I ain't but I'll you up now. But I,
But you call it for what it is, man. Like, because again, I sometimes I don't even know how much to speak on the life because I haven't lived it, right?
yeah.
So,
I mean, I haven't
but
even lived it. Although you should only
but you
talk
call it for
about,
what it is. Like it's like manipulation,
yeah,
like
but
and no disrespect,
yeah,
to
yeah.
anybody,
No, no.
claiming any sin or anything, but it's just like I don't know, I can't, you know.
No, I mean, I get in, people trip on me for talking about it. I just don't talk about details. Like I don't say my neighborhood. I don't
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about anybody else. I talk about myself. I think you should speak from your experiences. And,
yeah,
I am from somewhere and I'm proud to be from that place. And the thing is, I actually don't think you should drop out of gangs, though. I don't think you should leave your gang. I think you should empower your gang to just do different. So I have a different perspective. So these people are doing, I don't do gang prevention. I don't do gang intervention. I don't believe in none of that. I think we should
yeah,
promote gangs, just promote them in a positive way. Because if you're
yeah,
already in a gang, it's too much, it's too sticky to get out. And it's too disrespectful. You just, why would you? For me,
yeah,
I said I was going to be from somewhere and I'm still from somewhere. And there's people that get mad at me for saying that I'm still from somewhere. But you can't tell me, you know what I mean? I fought for mines. You know what I mean? I sacrificed for
yeah,
this. And so,
yeah,
but my whole thing is I'm redirecting my energy now, bro. And that's what it's about. And all I did is I just wanted to live. And I'll just be honest, when I was younger, homie, I went to jail and I was like, oh, this is awkward. I'm claustrophobic. I love women. I love women. I love women. And I hate being around a bunch of angry men all the time. All that
yeah,
shit. Dog, people
yeah.
talking about it's so cool to go to prison, glorifying going to jail, dog. Yo, a bunch of lames. Respect to all the people that had to do time, like my friends. One of my best friends just got home from doing 20 years. And
Yeah,
but they did time so you don't got to, you know? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
gotta experience that. You know what I mean? And my
yeah,
homies did time, so I don't gotta experience prison. I'm 38. I don't never wanna say I know anything about prison, man. I'm a
yeah,
grown
yeah.
ass. I'm a man, bro. Men try not to go to prison. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
because they treat you like a child in there.
Yeah, it's the trap, man, and that's why like for me, not only being undocumented, but I always had to move different. I couldn't get involved with too much because to me, going to prison could mean something else.
Get
You know what I'm
deported
saying?
like my cousin. He was a gang
Exactly,
member. He was a
bro.
gang member and he got deported. He lives in Mexico City
Exactly,
and
bro.
now he's an English teacher in Mexico City. Shout out to
Oh
Danny.
shit, it's killing the game out there or what?
Yeah,
That's what's
with the
up. Like
little
that was
tie.
the
Motherfucker has a tie. He's like,
cousin. You said your cousin?
hell yeah. Shout out to Danny. That's
Shout
my,
out your cousin, man.
you know.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought, but
No, but let's move forward, man. Hey,
yeah, go for it. There's some more questions.
yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, oh, here's the question. Question to Agent. What is your writing process with your music? El Pueblo.
My writing process is it's evolved. It changes. I have multiple approaches that I take. Sometimes I don't write at all. I just go over shit in my head, memorize it, record it. I like to write down phrases that I come up with. Like a phrase, just a couple of words, an idea. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example, but it's like there's so many examples. But yeah, so I'll take something and expand on it. Sometimes I don't really write. Sometimes I'll write on my phone. Yeah, so I'll listen to a beat. There's a lot of approaches. You can listen to a beat, or sometimes you can take something you have and match it to a beat, or and change it a little bit, or sometimes you have a
No, I
couple.
don't know, bro.
Well, well,
I knew at a young know my you know. It just didn't come, dog. You know what I mean? It just didn't
yeah,
come.
yeah, it's crazy because you kind of naturally go through different writing processes or creative processes, and then you find out the greats, right? Like they have the same processes, right? Like at first I wouldn't write my shit at all. I would just listen. I would just like kind of premeditate it and feel it and kind of really get in that zone and then record it.
Yeah.
So there was no need to write it down because I would sit through it. And I found out Jay-Z worked like that, and so
Oh,
it kind of validates different writing processes. And when you hear that other artists, you know, sometimes they get writer's block, or sometimes they, you know, sometimes they piece together two verses that weren't even gonna be a song, but they found this overarching hook, you know, that kind of bring them together. And so they threw them together and made a song when there were two separate verses and like stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of different approaches.
that's crazy. Yeah. But now you talk about some photography, and I'll blow your face off. You feel me? But I'm not. You know what I mean? But for me, it's like I don't even like. Actually, that's not even true. I mean, I'm lying to myself. I mean, maybe about like look at what photography does, my boy. Because I don't really give a about photography. I can't. I don't even like being around people that just want to talk about all these technical shit. You know, like I'm making. I got into photography in Metro because I was like,
Peace, Cosmic Dad.
yeah, shout
Uh-huh.
out. Because I was like, fool, somebody has to tell our story, dog. You know what I mean? Like they did in the 60s and
Oh,
shit. And so I stopped, because I speak a lot. One thing about me is I might speak a lot, but I also know when to shut the up. And that's really important in this life, is to speak your mind. You know what I mean? But know when to
yeah.
shut up. This motherfucker said,
Yo, that's
Vulture
cool.
said, I'll blow your face off. No, yeah, no, but you know what I mean? But I believe that. And so I love photography, moment, because I can just be in the cut and I get this close to people. And how many people in this world do you get this close to? You know what I mean?
Yo,